So 11.1 is bringing a lot of quality of life changes, one of which is the map. We'll get into that, some Plunderstorm rebalancing, Mythic Narubar Palace, probably like end of it, really what the end of this patch is looking like in terms of DPS rankings. We'll get into all of that. That's all going to change, I'm sure, in 11.2. And are there too many currencies in WoW? We'll talk about it. Here we go. New quest map is coming into the game. It's going to reveal a few new tabs for us and a much better way to basically, navigate around the world of Warcraft. To start, we're getting an all-new events tab. That's right. Events will be, they're all over WoW. This is a constant thing now. And these events are going to be now showing a timer, right, based on your local time zone, which is pretty nice, or maybe your server time. I have to check into that, double-check it. But it's going to be a tab, basically, that shows you where all the events are for one, and what time they're going to happen. That's a nice quality of life change. You'll no longer need an add-on, and for me, every single change that Blizzard does that eliminates the need for another add-on is a good change. I'm happy with that, and I hope they continue to add more things in the game, lessening the requirement for add-ons, because to me, those have always been a barrier to entry. You got your regular quest tab here, sorting out of things. It looks very much, how it's always kind of looked. No real big updates there. The other big update, really, is this. You're getting basically what is a World Quest / Key tab. So this is a legend. If you ever looked at a map before, you'd know what that is. It basically gives you a breakdown of what everything on the map means. And I hadn't really thought about it, but yeah, if you're a new player to WoW, how the hell are you going to know what all this shit means? There's a lot of things on this map. Gone are the days where the only thing that used to show up on your map was a quest marker. Yeah, there is a lot more here now. And again, another thing that'll get rid of add-ons, right? We already have a lot of these things on here. Some of them require add-ons, some of them don't. Having a legend that shows what everything means, how everything's supposed to look, and where you can find these things is very nice. I think these are good additions to the map, good quality of life changes. And then what is here? Oh, even gives you a little bit of the loot. Yeah, this is already in existence. So this is nice. Good changes to the map, and all of this will be coming out. So Plunderstorm balance tuning for January 22nd. That's right. If you've been playing Plunderstorm, you know what the best moves are, and one of them is actually Celestial Barrage. That's getting nerfed into the ground. Celestial Barrage travel speed reduced by 25%. Celestial Barrage radius reduced by 33%. Celestial Barrage initial flight distance significantly reduced. Celestial Barrage backwards leap height significantly reduced. And honestly, that was kind of needed. When you did this ability in Plunderstorm, you basically flew out of range of everybody, and you just got to stand there and charge this thing up and blast people. So Celestial Barrage ain't going to hit the same way anymore. Call of the Gale Feather delay before Gale Feather arrives reduced by 60%. Aura of the Zealotries active aura now persists for a short duration after leaving the consecration. So there you go. Changes will continue to happen in Plunderstorm. We've seen rebalancing happen over and over. Looks like Celestial Barrage was the main pick here for the rebalancing changes. Moving on to DPS. Mythic Narubar Palace. The War Within Season 1 DPS charts. Here it is. Let's get into a little bit about where the current standings are. Overall damage, not many movers. It looks like Elemental Enhancement still doing the best. They've been doing the best. We are in the age of the Shaman and the Rogue. Look at this. Ass Rogue, Sub-Titty Rogue, and Outlaw Rogue here sitting at 3, 5, and 6 on the rankings. And sandwiched in between them is Marksmanship Hunter. Marksmanship Hunter looking really good. A lot of the changes, people are loving them. Don't forget, Marksmanship is getting pets back. In the next patch, it's a big deal. They've been asking for it, and they're going to get it. Me personally, I don't think Marksmanship needs a pet, but hey, it is what it is. Survival Hunter also doing really good. Frost Mage, the top mage spec for damage right now overall. Destruction Warlock, Havoc Demon Hunter, Arms Warrior, Retribution Paladin, Fire Mage. And then rounding out the bottom here, we got Augmentation Evoker, always hard to track. Demonology, Frost, and Unholy Decay seem to be dropping every single week. Every single week I look at these charts, Frost and Decay look like they're dropping lower. I don't know what's going on, but I've seen them pump pretty damn hard. Maybe it's single target that they're doing really good, and we'll have to check that out right after this. Beastmastery Hunter down here and Furry Warrior, hurting a bit and reeling a bit. We'll have to see if they get some kind of buff going forward. Let's see damage to bosses, which is what really matters in raids. Ass Rogue, pumping and dumping, doing really good here. Elemental Shaman, right behind him. Marksmanship Hunter, Sub-Titty Rogue, Enhancementship, and Survival Hunter. Basically, if you're playing Rogue, Hunter, or Shaman right now, you're doing great. I mean, those three intermingled specs between them, they're making up, what is this, the top 6 specs are of those 3, each one contributing 2 at least. So, I mean, damn. They're doing really, really good. Feral Druid, also a big comeback king of this patch. They were in the gutter, and Blizzard did a bunch of buffs to them, and they have now risen to relevance once again. Good to see Feral Druids and all the kitty people running around once again. Arms Warrior right behind them, Beast Mastery Hunter, and then you got the mid-tier here, which is really made up of the Warlock specs and the Mage specs. Interestingly enough, with a little bit of Retribution Paladin in there. At the very bottom, oh my god, Demonology Warlock. I remember the glory days of Demonology Warlock when you would summon an entire army of demons and you were pumping and dumping, exploding them and sacrificing them, pumping huge numbers out. Crazy to see how hard Demo has fallen. Furry Warrior at the very bottom, as it should be. They're furries after all. Augmentation Evoker, Frost DK, Balanced Druid, Devastation Evoker, Windwalker Monk. Rounding out the bottom boys here. Not a lot of movement, honestly. Maybe a few flips and changes. Let's see who the biggest movers and non-movers are here. So the biggest mover up really was Affliction Warlock, up 3 spots. They're the biggest mover up for last week. Not much changes going on. Again, all this balancing and rebalancing is happening for the next patch, really. So not much going on and besides that. Biggest movers down are, who is this? A Shadow Priest. 3 spots down. That's the biggest mover down. Oh, and Marksmanship Hunter, 3 spots down. They were previously the #1 spot, down 3 spots from there for overall damage. So not feeling too bad for Marksmanship. They're doing great. They're still one of the best right now in single target as well. So doing really nice for them. We're going to keep reviewing these every week, but man, when the next patch hits, Undermined, I mean, this is going to flip-flop. You're going to see people moving up and down 20, 15 spots. It's going to all change, and we'll be reviewing it all here, so it should be a good time. And last but not least, are there too many currencies in WoW? I think a lot of people think so. Well, PC Mag dropped an article about how many currencies there currently are in WoW. There are 1,203 types of currencies in the game. That is absolutely insane. Oh my god. And I always talk about it. I would say, oh, new patch, 5 or 6 new currencies. Absolutely wonderful. Well, that has continued. Now, they say, to be fair, some of these have been retired. Others are currencies for a single item or purpose. But in comparison, for the entire world, the real world, there are only 180 currencies. So that is absolutely insane. 1,203, man. And I've talked about this before. All these different changes in crest names, and I can never keep up with it. I personally have no idea what's going on half the time anymore. I got to open up Wowhead to figure out what's going on in terms of currencies and upgrading crests and doing all that shit. I don't know where everything ranks anymore. So I've said it before. They need to go back to a standard naming system for crests and things like that. Just give me a myth crest, a heroic crest, and a normal crest. Just keep it simple. And just attach a season number to it so I know which season it's from, so I can use it or not use it. That's about it. Other than that, Warcraft stocks of currencies are on the rise. Yeah, that's right. Every single patch that comes out adds more. 11.0.7 added yet another in the form of Flame of the Blessed Iron, which we're currently dealing with on the Siren Isles, where you can buy civilian transmogs with them and other goodies. That's right. So Blizzard can't help themselves. Every single patch we get more currencies. Now there's Warbound ones, non-Warbound. You can't there's no way you can keep track of it all. Currencies are the worst, except for physical alternatives. That's right. They talk a little bit here about how in Shadowlands we had the whole anima deposits that we had to deal with, where instead of something that's just a currency in your tab, you had to hold it in your bag and return back to your covenant to deposit the anima. That sucks. That is obviously worse than just having more currencies, because now you're taking up bag slots. Thankfully, they dumped that whole concept later on. One solution, the gold standard. That's right, and I agree with this. I talked about it back when Mists of Pandaria Remix came out. I thought having gold, basically this gold currency that upgrades things, that buys things, that does multiple things, was a great thing. Now, can they introduce that into the real game, have one single currency? Probably not, but they certainly can lessen the amount of currencies that currently exist. One way they can do that is retiring old currencies, right? As you get further into expansions and this and that, maybe you're 2-3 expansions removed from a previous expansion, remove the currencies required to buy certain things and just convert it to gold. That's it. That's how you keep things going. You also help people to be able to grind shit out easier, go hunt things down more easily. Also, when leveling happens so quick now that they say here that nobody's out there grinding currencies while leveling anymore. The whole leveling process is so quick, you don't have time to grind out any expansion-specific currencies. So convert old ones to gold, create monotone naming systems, right? Give me heroic crests, mythic crests, just keep it simple, stupid. and you'll have less currencies. Hopefully they start to fix some of this. They did say they were going to work on the crest naming system. We'll see if they actually do that. But that is all in terms of news.